What if the way you learned love was never actually love? What if the things you thought were normal, being ignored, overthinking every message, feeling like you're too much, were quietly teaching you something completely wrong? Because love isn't supposed to feel like anxiety, but for you, it does. And the scariest part? You don't even know where it started. Maybe you were the easy child, the one who didn't cause problems, the one who stayed quiet, the one who figured things out alone, not because you wanted to, but because no one really noticed when you needed help. So you adapted. You stopped asking. You stopped expressing. You learned to shrink yourself just enough to be accepted. And when you did get attention, it felt unpredictable. Sometimes warm, sometimes distant, sometimes completely gone. So your brain started connecting the dots. Love means guessing. Love means adjusting. Love means earning it. And without realizing it, you memorized that pattern. Now fast forward to your life today. You meet someone, they're kind, they show interest, they text you, and at first it feels good, but then something shifts. They take a little longer to reply, and suddenly your mind starts racing. Did I say something wrong? Are they losing interest? Am I being too much? You reread conversations, you analyze tone, you create problems that don't even exist. Not because you're dramatic, but because your brain was trained to expect inconsistency. Pause for a second. Think about this. Do you feel calm in love, or do you feel like you're constantly trying not to lose it? Here's the part most people never explain. As a child, you don't question love. You absorb it. Whatever love feels like in your early life becomes your definition of it. So if love felt distant, you learn to chase it. If love felt conditional, you learn to earn it. If love felt unpredictable, you learn to fear losing it. And this doesn't just disappear. It follows you, quietly, into every relationship. You might not even realize it's happening. You might think, this is just how I am. I'm just an overthinker. I get attached too easily. But look deeper. Why do you feel anxious when someone treats you well? Why does consistency feel unfamiliar? Why do you sometimes trust people who confuse you more than people who understand you? Because chaos feels like home, and calm feels suspicious. Here's a hard truth. You didn't learn love. You learned survival. You learned how to read moods, how to avoid conflict, how to keep people from leaving, and you got really good at it. But survival isn't the same as connection, and that's why something always feels off, even when things are fine. Think about your relationships. Have you ever felt like you care more than the other person? Like you're always the one adjusting, overthinking, trying? Or maybe the opposite. Maybe when someone gets too close, you pull away. You feel overwhelmed. You need space. You shut down, not because you don't care, but because closeness feels unsafe. This is the part no one talks about. You can crave love and fear it at the same time.
Pause again. Be honest with yourself. Do you fall for people who make you feel secure or people who make you feel uncertain? Because that answer reveals everything. Here's where it gets even deeper. When you learn love the wrong way, you don't just struggle in relationships, you struggle with yourself. You might feel like you're too emotional, too needy, too distant, too complicated, but you're not too much. You're just responding to patterns that were never explained to you, patterns you didn't choose, patterns you had to learn to feel safe. And the saddest part? You might blame yourself for it. You might think, why am I like this? Why can't I just be normal? Why do I ruin things? But you didn't ruin anything, you adapted. Exactly the way you needed to. But here's the realization that changes everything. What you learned can be unlearned, not overnight, not perfectly, but slowly. You can start noticing your patterns, the overthinking, the fear, the urge to pull away or hold on too tight. Instead of reacting automatically, you pause and you ask yourself, is this love, or is this what I learned love feels like? That question alone can change everything, because real love doesn't make you feel like you're about to lose it. It doesn't make you question your worth. It doesn't require you to shrink or chase or prove yourself. Real love feels different, calmer, safer, steadier. And at first, it might feel unfamiliar, maybe even uncomfortable, because it doesn't match the pattern you're used to. But that doesn't mean it's wrong. It means it's new. So if you've ever felt like love is confusing, like you're always the one trying harder, like something just doesn't feel right, it's not because you're broken. It's because you learned love in a place where it wasn't shown the way it should have been. And none of that was your fault. But healing, that part is yours. And it starts with something simple, not finding the right person, but understanding the version of love you've been holding on to this whole time. Because once you see it clearly, you stop chasing what hurts you, and you start recognizing what actually feels like home.